Welcome to Agency for Agents, a podcast for real estate team leaders and independent brokerage owners looking to maximize profits, effectiveness, and gain freedom for their team and business. Your hosts, Christine Andreasen and Aaron Hendon, have been running one of the most successful real estate teams in the Seattle area for more than 8 years. They know building a winning team means finding ways to empower, nurture, train, and develop individual agents to discover their own power, their own agency. On the podcast, Christine and Aaron interview thought leaders in real estate and personal growth to help you impact both your performance and your teams. We know it takes a lot, and leaders and brokers that crack that code reap the rewards of success greater than any they could ever achieve on their own.
Why don't you start with introducing yourself?
Yeah. Tell us a little about you and tell us about Janesville. Janesville?
Yeah.
Where?
Janesville, Wisconsin. So my name's Nick Allen. I got into real estate at kind of a young age, just interested wise. I didn't actually get my license until 2013 in Wisconsin. I'm actually from Southern California, born and raised in Los Angeles. I actually took the exam out there and passed way back in the day. I just didn't do anything with it because I was in the financial industry and was like, whatever. But now in Wisconsin, I got my salesperson license in 2013. And back then you could get your broker's license. There weren't very big requirements. So I got that the following year in 2014 and just fell in love with real estate. Did all right my first year. It was a grind, and then got approached by all sorts of brokerages that wanted me to be a part of their team. I took the best offer I could get, and with the goal of opening my own brokerage with them, that company, I won't mention their name, but they're a big one and they claim to sell the most real estate. So that didn't work out. Lots of promises that never came to fruition. So I decided at that point, you know what? I have my broker's license. I want to open a company that is more for the agents, for newer agents that have no idea what they're doing, because I didn't have good training. I was fed to the wolves and had to figure it out as I went. That's kind of a nutshell of where I was and to how I got to the brokerage.
Great. Awesome. And then what brought you to Wisconsin? Now I'm just personally curious. From
LA even, right?
Right. So back in the day when, 08, 09, the big old economy disaster.
We all remember this.
Yep. My wife had just gotten pregnant and I lost my job due to government funding being cut. And I worked for a nonprofit at the time. So I decided I had moved back and forth growing up a couple times to Wisconsin. And I thought, you know what? It's a better place to raise a family. So, and I'm happy I did. My wife she's from California too, and she loves it here. So.
Wow. Isn't that cool?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Commissions are a little bit less in Wisconsin, but
a little bit. What's your median price?
But so
right now, let's see, average sold in Janesville this year, $232,000.
Wow.
But your cost of living's a lot lower too, right? So it's
right.
all the same.
Exactly.
It all matches up.
Wow.
That's awesome.
All right, tell us about your team.
Yeah, so comprises of 6 agents and myself. We're a tiny little brokerage in, deep water of real estate. And we pride ourselves on communication with our clients, with each other. Basically, anybody that contacts us, my goal is for everyone on the team to respond immediately, if not immediately, get right back to them. I think that's number one. And really caring and being passionate about what you do. We try to have fun here more so than your standard go into the office, do your paperwork and leave.
Yeah, we saw that on your social media.
We saw that on your social media.
It was kind of a theme, is having fun.
Yeah.
I want to hear all about that. What do you do that's fun? How do you empower that?
Yeah. So, we do fun things. I'll have regular trainings where I just come up with something, from my past that I failed at or that didn't work. And I want to make sure they don't go through that. So I'm constantly giving the agents information and what not to do, but what to do. So my wife gets on me sometimes because I'm up until like 2:00 in the morning learning And, the market is ever changing. So I got to be following along with that.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes this brokerage fun is we just let loose. We're just normal people, like our clients. They're just normal people. We like to get together and go have a beer, or at the office. This is a funny one I don't share too often with outside people. There's a train that goes by the office. And so one of my agents, he's a younger agent, and he said, "Oh, train, we got to do a train chug, #train chug." All the youngins with their
You have a drinking game in your office.
Yeah. So basically, if a train comes by and he's here and I'm here, you got to run to the refrigerator, grab a beer, and drink it as fast as you can.
I love it.
Hopefully not while writing an offer.
Okay, well, we do tacos and tequila on Tuesday. So
What did you say, Aaron?
I said we do tacos and tequilas on Tuesday.
Yes.
Tacos, tequila, and texting Tuesdays.
Yes, that's awesome.
Text.
Yeah, your team would love that, right? Like everyone gets around and we all shoot video text and send them out to people. And not
For
while
sure.
we're drunk, but we, send them and then we have
I know, Aaron, you and I have done one while we were
really a big mistake. So you got to time it right.
Yes.
time it right. Otherwise, it comes out really sloppy.
Exactly. I've been there.
That's funny.
Doing
That's
deals
awesome.
around campfires in the campground is always a good time.
Nice.
Right.
Well, tell us about the training that you give people. You said you were left to the wolves to figure it out. And I think that's the experience of a lot of broker owners. And a lot of reasons why we get onto team, in the team leader capacity is to develop people. What do you do? What's your training protocol like? And are you talk about your training protocol.
Sure. So I like to get the agents together. Normally, not everybody's schedule works out, which that bothers me. But we get together. I typically spend about the week before, a couple hours here, a couple hours there, devising what I want to go over with them to better their business.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, we had a training, and it was all on marketing yourself, how to utilize different ways of finding people's information, because that's a big one is, well, who am I going to market to and where am I going to get their information? Well, I've done all the hard work to figure that out. So now I just got to give it to you guys. You need to take the time, do this, this, and this, and in your prospecting, and you're going to be golden.
Mm-hmm.
You do that every week, or you do that once a month? When do you guys get together for
usually every couple months.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But I do individualized training based on need. I'm super accessible to everybody, agents, friends, family, clients. I answer my phone at the most inopportune times.
Sure.
So, but yeah, we go over everything from, how to talk to somebody on the phone for the first time, all the way to you're negotiating a deal with a multi-million-dollar investor. Like everything in between, I try to instill in them that they can handle this.
Mm-hmm.
I think the number one thing that agents go into real estate worrying about is the next deal. And for me, that was my big thing. I said I was fed to the wolves was I didn't have a sphere, because being from California, everybody's out there. So everybody's like, well, use your sphere, your sphere, your sphere. And I'm like, what if you don't have a sphere?
Right.
So it's all about networking and how to make yourself stand out in that area. So we go over a lot of that.
Great. What do you recommend? What do you tell people to do? So I'm a new agent. I come on your team. We interview. I'm interviewing a bunch of brokers. I like to chug beer. We hit it off. I'm a new agent on the team. Haven't done any deals.
Yeah.
Right?
Where do I go?
First place to start is get out there and meet people. I think that's the number one thing in any sales business is making yourself known to as many people as possible. What I always say is, well, first, you don't need your business cards, but it always helps. So anytime I talk with somebody new, I find a way to interject what I do for a living. I don't know how. I just over the years developed the way like, hey, oh, that's awesome. You work at the gas station and you see me. That's great. Did you know that if you're ever in the market to buy or sell a house, here's my card? It works. I get calls from that stuff. So it's letting every single person you come into contact with know what you do. I think that's number one. It's free, talking to people's free. The other thing is, I think a major player right now is prospecting online. Every MLS has a database that you can get into the public records. And if you actually take the time to sit down and learn how to utilize a tax database and public record search, I mean, you can target a geographic farm, which I also think is a great place for agents to start, is get, maybe 50 to 100 houses in a neighborhood you want to own, mainly work, and utilize that geographic farm, input the information, that you find in the tax database and people search, and go to work. I mean, it's cheap to knock on a door, right?
Do you run your brokerage like they're your team, or do you have people that are on your team and the brokerage, or is it just your brokerage?
Just the brokerage. Each agent has their own business, basically, and they're all independent contractors. I start agents. I know you mentioned commission in the beginning. I'm an open book.
Yeah, sorry.
Brand new agents, they just got their license and they're going to need a lot of hand holding. We still start them at 70%. There's no desk fees, no any other fee. We pay for signs. We put your signs up. Professional photography is included. Everything's included. The only time you pay is when you close a deal and you get 70%.
Do you have an annual cap?
We do have a plan that does an annual cap, which is at $14,000. And once that agent is proficient at the 70%, I mean, maybe they do, 4 or 5 deals and they just blew it away.
Yeah.
We bump them to 80%.
Yeah.
And so at that 80% market or rate, I mean, they're doing pretty good, especially getting everything paid for them.
Yeah.
And if they choose to do a cap, they can pick the percentage that they want to pay in. So they could do like a 60-40 until
they get it done quicker rather than.
Yeah.
Good
exactly.
For you. Good for you. Yeah, we do something similar. We just, I rolled out something brand new for 2022, which is quite the risk because I actually run a team, not a brokerage.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 50-50 split. Aaron's been on my team for 8 years at 50-50, and I just rolled it out. So every 7 deals, they go up 10%.
Ooh, I like it.
I know. It's pretty cool. And
I think it's scary, but I like it.
It's scary, but then we did the math, and who's really going to benefit from it is Aaron. He'll make an extra $150,000 next year, which means it comes from the house, right?
Yep.
So then I'm like, okay, well, then we just need 6 new agents doing 7.
Exactly.
And then the balance is there.
It's all math.
It is all math, but I think you do have to give them some kind of incentive, just like you're talking about. Like, look, we're holding your hand right now, but once you become a baller, I'll make sure it's worth your while.
Exactly. And I know that the agents have reached out, and thanked me and everything because I am, like I said, completely accessible. I was in Florida with my family at Disney World the week before last, and my phone was blowing up, but I make sure that I have time, to handle it. And there were a couple instances where the agents didn't know something and needed help immediately. Well, I'm standing in line for like Space Mountain or something. And I'm like, okay, well, you need to do this and call this person and do that. And people around me are like, God, this guy's working while he's in line at Disney World.
Right.
And the only people questioning that are not realtors. That's
exactly.
Anyone who's in real estate knows exactly what you're doing.
I was just being interviewed by a loan company on a podcast right before this one. And I said something about, if I'm up at 11 o'clock and my phone dings, I text back. I don't care. If I'm up, I'm available. That's how we roll in this business, right?
10% of us.
Yeah, well, that's true. A lot of people turn. I know. It always blows me away when I hear voicemails saying, I'm available 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? This is a 24-hour-a-day gig.
I know. I mean, it's definitely changed, I think, for the better with agents in the past decade versus previous. To the amount of response times.
Yeah, that was a big deal. I mean, I think COVID changed a lot too. Everybody's sitting in front of their computer all day now, where we used to be out and about and running around, and unfortunately, we are not. So Aaron, while you were gone, we were talking about splits and caps and whatnot, and I let them know about what we're rolling out for 2022. And Nick and I decided that we're not going to have you go start at 80/20. We're going to go ahead and have you stay.
I'm so glad we did this podcast. This is really wonderful. This is excellent. I'm going to be leaving now.
Well, you take care. It was nice.
Okay.
Nice meeting you.
You didn't mention that I'm the person on the team that's carrying the team. Did she tell you how much production?
Oh, she said you've done quite well over the last, 8 years?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's fun because, Agent Aaron and I lead Career Corners together, and he always says, listen, I don't need a team anymore. It's Christine's job to keep me happy, which is kind of how we roll. Luckily, we're very transparent with each other and both have each other's back, so it never gets to the nitty gritty of anything.
It's like what Nick, when you were with whoever, right? You didn't mention the name, but whatever brokerage that was, it clearly wasn't their job to keep you happy.
Oh, not at all.
I mean, that's just insanity. I mean, as small business owners, that's all our job is to keep they're not really employees, so we're not saying that, but to keep our agents happy.
Or keep our clients happy.
And the agents are our clients.
Well, we've been open 3 years now, and I've had one agent leave.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah. So, awesome. I mean, that's pretty good with all of the EXP.
Yeah.
All of my competitors that are out there offering things that I can't, I think that's not bad. I don't advertise for agents. I like to keep the team small because that way I have more time to dedicate to the ones that I do have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that is, one of the reasons we came to EXP was because we looked at either opening our own shop or coming to EXP, but rather than carry the liability of our own shop. Right. And to be able to offer, healthcare and referral income and equity, it makes it a no-brainer like that for us. It was a pretty easy decision once we looked at the numbers.
Well, we looked at big brokerage too. Probably another one we will not be naming if I haven't already said it, but it's probably, just like you, a big, big box shop.
Yeah.
We're like, nah, not our jam anymore.
It's almost and I mean, not to talk negatively about large companies, they're fantastic, but I think there's a couple front runners in the companies that have been around forever because they adapt to change and they've, updated their systems. Mm-hmm. But there are definitely a couple large brands that don't do that and still rely on, the past to help them out. And what really suffers is the agents, especially the newer ones, and the clients, because they're not getting the proper attention that they need either.
Yeah. Can you talk anything else about in terms of what you provide your clients or what you provide your agents that's makes you stand out in the market so that those agents that are looking to hang their license somewhere, why do they choose you?
Yeah. Well, we definitely have the most fun. One of the things that I like to do is give back to the community. Mm-hmm. And I think being a community partner is something that goes leaps and bounds above a company that you just see a lot of their signs. We're out there, every deal we make, I give a brand new bicycle to a local nonprofit for kids that need them. And then my wife and we own another business. It's a 3D, 4D ultrasound studio. And so pregnant women go and see their babies before they're born.
Wow.
And so my wife and I teamed our businesses up and bought 70 something winter jackets that we're going to be giving away. Hey, if you need a jacket for your kid this year, because it gets cold,
in Wisconsin,
stop by. We'll give you one,
Wow.
So I think community involvement, we've got a trunk or treat going on in our parking lot on the 22nd to just bring the community together. That definitely separates us from the other local brokerages. Aside from that, I mean, the things that we offer, business wise is free signs. They will put them in the yard and everything. You don't pay for that. No fees. And then free photography on all your listings. The simple things, no added fees. It's just your straight commission. You pay us when you make a sale. Mm-hmm. And from there, you're saving in the long run. Mm-hmm. Aside from that is just the atmosphere and the training. I mean, as far as I know, I'm more hands-on, probably the most hands-on broker in the area. 100%. I can say that with confidence that my team gets a lot more out of me than they would any of the other brokers.
Being in a big box shop. Right?
Any of them. Yeah. I'll go up against any. And you know what? I bet you I can sing better than all of them. So.
All right. Now you got to tell. Now we got to see it.
Oh, no. Yeah, we'll post the video later.
Okay. We'll hunt
normally I'll have a guitar in the office and I'll just, but maybe that's a good competition. I'll put it out there in the universe. Any other local broker wants to have a sing-off. So.
I love it.
You can have a voice.
One of the things I appreciate, and I think it's very much like our team too, is your team. It sounds like you guys are a family. Like you've got their back no matter what.
Yeah.
They've got yours. Nobody's anonymous. Nobody's a number. Nobody's just another broker, which is very much how we run our team too. I like that. I like that you really are available to them and care about their success. It's awesome. Definitely.
I mean, we rolled out one of our most recent training plans was becoming $100,000 earner. That's big here, because I know West Coast, not so difficult. Rural Wisconsin, kind of hard.
Yeah.
So I devised a whole plan, step by step, do this, and you'll earn $100,000,
awesome.
Per year.
Awesome.
So it's the things like that we try to offer versus, go talk to your sphere. Make sure you're emailing and calling and texting your sphere. Like, okay, but here's the extra stuff on top of that.
Right. Here's who to call, when to call, how to call, what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really great. Excellent. Well, Nick, one of the things we ask everybody is what are they reading? What do they recommend that people read? I'm always interested in getting more stuff. We got a great couple of recommendations yesterday from Hillary. So,
what books are you reading?
One that's sitting on my coffee table at home is, I forget exactly what it's called, but it's about accomplishing in 12 weeks as much as you could in 12 months.
Right.
So if you give me 1 second, I can
wait. You got nothing.
Let me get
I definitely want to hear about that one.
And this was recommended to me. Let's see. Let me go in my Amazon orders. All right. The 12-week year. Get more done in 12 weeks than others do in 12 months.
You pretty much quoted that bang on from memory.
Yeah. Not too shabby.
Awesome.
I definitely recommend that. I think there's a book by Christa Mcshaw.
Mm-hmm.
She's a top 1% agent out in California.
Yep.
I think so. It's the 30 and 30. Let me just take a look.
Yeah, she runs a big video challenge. She's pretty.
Yes. Yeah. So there was one of her books I didn't really care for, and I think that's the Sell 100 Plus Homes a Year.
Mm-hmm.
But the other one, and I'll give you the name, is 3 Clients in 30 Days by Christa Mcshaw. That's a good book. There's some good tidbits in there about prospecting, and you get a glimpse of how other top agents acquire their clientele.
Great.
Yeah.
Fabulous, Nick. Well, those are great recommendations. In fact, Christine, we should talk to Christa and see if she wants to be on the show. That would be killer.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. If she does, invite me on the show and I'll be happy.
There you go. We'll all get together again. Fair enough.
Excellent. All right, Nick. Well, anything else you want to leave us with? Any other ideas or thoughts or anything you want to you would think you wish you knew as a broker owner getting into it, or things that you do well that you want to share with other broker owners? Yeah, there's a couple things that I always like to mention at the end. And that number one is communicate, because clients need it. They deserve it. As a leader, your agents, your team deserves it, and they expect it. I mean, even if it's not out and said, but communication is key to a lot of things in life, and especially business. Make sure you communicate. And the other thing is make sure you have enough time in your day to still have fun.
Awesome.
Hey, Nick. Fabulous. Well, we really appreciate your time. And this was a lot of fun for us. I don't know. I really do appreciate your being here, and keep kicking it. And I'll be thinking of you when the Seahawks get up there. And
yeah, right?
Yeah, I'll feel bad for you guys when you do.
I'm sure.
Okay, Aaron, we'll make sure we make a note to call the next day on that one.
Right.
Okay, yeah, make sure you do.
Okay, good.
Awesome meeting you. Have a great episode.
You guys too. Have a wonderful day, and it was a pleasure being a part of this.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Abundant Life Podcast. Brought to you by Christine & Company and eXp Realty, the global online brokerage powered by top agents and cutting-edge technology. If you liked what you heard, consider subscribing wherever you listen to podcasts. Your hosts have been award-winning brokers Christine Andreasen and Aaron Hendon. For more on them, visit christineandcompany.com.